scoreless from three. You're number one in opponents' three-point shooting percentage. What do you feel like has been a key to your success there? And how can you do that?
Number one, protecting the paint. We feel like when we can protect the paint, we can spray out the shooters, contest shots. Just all the things that we work on in practice, stick hand closeouts. We know that the league is trending towards more threes, and we want to be a team that can at least contest those shots at a high rate.
One point Larry made is you guys just have a lot of length. I mean, it's hard to play defense in today's NBA. How much does just having a length across the board help you there?
It's important, extremely important. We're blessed to have guys at multiple different positions that can guard different positions, but the size and length is important. Being able to get to shooters, being able to close out and contain drives, it's something that we definitely hang our hat on.
And Larry also mentioned the buy-in from your stars, CJ and BI, on that end. How important is that as well, building a good defense?
It's important. Once again, we're getting buy-in from the whole group. And you guys said it's hard to defend in the NBA, especially trying to guard somebody one-on-one. So our team defensive concepts play a huge role in our ability to go in each night and feel like we can defend teams.
Going back to Dyson right now, I know we talked about him a little bit the other night. Just what kind of growth have you seen? He said it was maybe like the Portland game where he started to feel like himself again after coming back off the ankle. Just what have you seen from him in these last 8-9 games?
We've thrown him into the fire, obviously. Coming in at 19 years old, he's learning on the fly, and the best thing about him is that he gets to learn with a great group surrounding him. His teammates are supportive. We're supportive as a coaching staff. We know he has the ability to be, good, solid, good to great, and those are the things he's working on. He's kind of gained some momentum over the last handful of games, 10 games or so, and we just want to continue to see him grow and just keep the game simple.
I think it was the first Houston game. That might have been where he had maybe one of his worst halves. I don't think you played him in the second half of that one. I'm assuming for a 19-year-old that could maybe shake some confidence, but as next game he's back in, same regular rotation. What have you seen just growth-wise from him and being able to deal with the bad this year and kind of work through that?
He's extremely mature for his age, and he has a you can tell his foundation is solid. He comes in the next day like it didn't happen. He learns from it. He's there watching film. He's here early, continuing to work on his game, getting his work in with the performance team as well. He gets back on the floor and he just does it again, all over again. And so, we trust him. I'm sure he trusts us, but he puts in the work, and that's what's important.
I have to ask, don't know how many more practices there'll be in the regular season. Was he able to do anything at practice today or anything like that?
No, he didn't go through practice today.
With this being the final week of the regular season, what's the message to the team just kind of heading into these last games?
Focus on one game at a time. Yes, we all look at the standings. It changes every few minutes. And that's a part of just being a human being in life. But let's focus on Sacramento and then go from there. And so that's where we are. We like the position that we're in this year. We'll just continue to grow and build from there.
How do you start to try to look ahead to with your staff, potential scenarios of, okay, we could see this team in a play-in, we could see this team in a playoff series, or is that something look, we got to take care of this first and we can start that on Monday?
That's a great question. Who do you think we might play?
I have no clue. I just did a whole story on it and I got no clue.
Exactly. I mean, from 4, let's just go from 4 down to 12, right?
Yes.
You can play any of those teams.
Yeah.
So for us, and I'm being honest,
Yeah.
we just know that all those teams are good teams, they're solid teams, and so are we. And we can be matched up with anybody, but the important part for us is that we have 4 games. And it's a cliche, but we're just looking at one game at a time. We want to make sure our focus, the center of our attention is on Sacramento going forward, play them, and then move forward to the next game and go from there.
Coach, you think there's a player that's been playing better basketball over the last 2-3 weeks than Brandon Ingram?
I mean, I'm sure there's some guys that's playing extremely well. He's right up there at the top of that list. And then you add the wins on top of what he's doing offensively, defensively, his passing, his rebounding. he's playing like one of the best players in the league right now.
What's impressed you the most about his game over these last couple of weeks?
What's impressed me the most is Brandon has the ability to rise to the occasion and rise to the moment. And we were at a point in our season where if we don't win, a lot of these games, we're probably on the outside looking in because of his play and his teammates supporting that, coming in and coming in with some juice. We're in a position to, make a postseason appearance or playoff appearance right away.
Well, what made that light kind of come on like that for Brandon? It's like just turned the switch on, or flipped the switch and took it to another.
I think we were all frustrated with some of the losses that we had. LA, Oklahoma, and we had a discussion as a team. And what came out of it is that we all wanted to be more accountable for everything. The moment we walk into this building, even when we leave this building, we wanted to be more accountable to each other. And that's the commitment that we have moving forward, and that's our mission.
Did you have a discussion with him about his passing and increasing that part of his role this year?
We've definitely had talks about it, and when I watch him on tape and watch him in games, I realize that I can just put the ball in his hands more because he has the ability to score, but he can set the table and find his teammates, and those guys feed off of his ability, his force in the game.
Quick question on BI's defense, which you just mentioned. So in the second half of the last game, you had him guarding Russell Moore, is that right?
Yes.
And he went from 19 points in the first half to 5 in the second half. I think it's interesting. People realize with his size and everything, he can be very effective as a defender on certain parts of the floor. But considering how much effort energy it takes to play defense and how much you rely on him on offense, how do you balance building his potential as a defender versus what you need him to do on the other?
He's in great shape right now.
Yeah.
And then there's times where we can take BI off Russell and put him on somebody else and now put another, like you guys talked about, length, a guy with size and length on him. And that was the adjustment for us. We had CJ on him, and he was able to shoot over the top of some of our guys. And so we wanted to put Dyson, put Herb, put Brandon, put Jay Rich, guys with more size and length on him. And if I notice that he's getting a little worn down, we can take him off the guys and mix up the matchups.
And he seems to embrace some of these defensive asks here and there.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. I think that, to me, it's important that some of the primetime guys guard each other. And, I think they're less likely to call fouls on you because they want, we want to see those guys play. So there's some benefit to it probably.
That's a real thing.
I believe it's a real thing. But we'll see. I think those guys like guarding each other. It's a challenge for them. And, we roll the balls out and continue playing.